It's been a few months since we last received a jet from the team of IndiaFoxtEcho. This was back in December when we received our F-14 Tomcat that was a partnership between Heatblur and IndiaFoxtEcho. This week, a brand new project arrives from IndiaFoxtEcho, an interesting jet.
Man, this might be something lethal, like a beast that can't be tamed. This the kind of rage you can't contain. Yeah, this might be something lethal. You can really see the flames, feeling like it's borderline insane. Man, this might be something lethal. Something lethal. Yeah, this might be something lethal. Feel it coming. The pressure start thumping, ain't no running.
We find ourselves on a beautiful coast of San Diego, where we have Miramar Air Base, and I do think that's the perfect location for the P200 Tornado. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm Chipmunk Law. We try to bring you different things on flight simming, hoping to improve your experience. So consider subscribing, as it can greatly help us. Now back to the real topic today. It sure does make a good start for this week. The Panavia Tornado, it's more like a superhero of fighter jets, born out of a collaboration between Italy, the UK and Germany. It has three main versions: the Tornado IDS, a real jack of all trades for bombing missions; the Tornado ECR, which is all about electronic combat and reconnaissance; and the Tornado ADV, which is the guardian angel of the skies, focused on air defense. Imagine this, a bunch of aerospace giants, British Aerospace, MBB, Air Italia, all coming together to bring this beast of a life. They made it fly for the first time in 1974, and by 1980, it was patrolling the skies. One of the features about the Tornado is the way it can adapt itself. It could step into the shoes of various other planes in the air forces that adopted it. The Royal Saudi Air Force jumped on board, becoming the only ones outside the original trio to get their hands on it. Now these birds weren't just for show. They were real heroes in conflicts that include the Gulf War, Bosnian War, Kosovo War, and more recently, lending a hand in Libya, Afghanistan, Yemen and Syria. Makes it quite interesting, isn't it? All in all, nearly 1,000 of these jets were built, making their mark in aviation history. Let's get to the base and observe the jet up close. The cockpit. Alright, we're sitting in the cockpit, ready to take control. Right there, at the base of your heads-up display, there's a magical spot called Menu, where you can easily access by clicking onto it. You've got access to what I call it, the in-cockpit menu, a lifesaver when you need to handle stuff without fiddling around too much. It's more like a personal assistant for you, neatly divided into 8 sections for easy navigation. All you have to do is click on the section you need and it'll open up a treasure chest of options. And if you ever feel like you've gone too deep and need to backtrack, just click on the center of the menu to get back to a level up. Plus, if you're a fan of fine-tuning, you can even adjust the menu's position using your mouse wheel. And to break it down, you've got checklists of options for quick access for important pre-flight checks. Navigation's there to help you get from point A to point B without a hitch. CRP-MD settings, AFDS for autopilot modes, radio and IFF for handling all your communication needs. And with this in-cockpit menu by your side, flying will be much more smoother with everything right you need at your fingertips. Take an example here and look at the configurations one can have here. You can have a range of options to set up your load, be it more fuel or weapons, you can have them all. By the way, this jet comes with a number of liveries, making it more authentic with different regions of the world. The power unit. Tornado comes equipped with its own little booster called an auxiliary power unit. You can kickstart using this battery on board, but let's say your battery is feeling a bit drained. Enter the external power unit. This serves as your backup plan. Just hit the right game key, or even easier, toggle it from the in-cockpit menu. Now this external power unit is smart. It knows when it's needed and when it's not. And if your plane is on the move or already up in the air, it'll step aside and let your Tornado do its thing. But when you're parked on the ground and in need of a boost, it's right there, ready to lend a helping hand. The startup. The startup procedure takes a bit of effort here, and certain steps are there to follow and make sure you're following the way it's supposed to be. Let's break down a pre-flight checklist for the Tornado. First things first, we'll start by accessing our in-cockpit menu by clicking on the menu option that's underneath the HUD display. From there, we'll select the ground crew commands and toggle the external electrical power. Once that's sorted, we can cancel any alarms and see the equipment outside that provides power to the aircraft. Now while the power is flowing, it's time to switch the hydraulic switches to the auto setting and head over to the rapid takeoff panel located behind the joystick. It's a number of switches, and we can use the master lever here to power up all the systems at once. Moving on, we'll activate the air system master switch to turn on the navigation lights. In the rear cockpit, we'll set the UHF radio to TR+G. Now back to the front cockpit, we'll switch on the oxygen and the anti-collision lights. We'll now activate the auxiliary power unit, APU, and adjust the X-drive switch to auto. While we hear the power flowing, we'll switch on the generators and close the canopy. Moving back to the front cockpit, we can calibrate the altimeter and switch the projected map display to Mode T. While it's time to start our engines, we'll flick the engine start switch and gradually advance the throttle. It does take a little bit of time, and once the engines are running, we can disconnect the APU. With everything all set, we'll start taxiing on the runway and of course release the parking brakes before that.
Switching to waypoint Bravo. Rotations.
Keeping a close eye on our speed, we are all set to conquer the skies. On the engines, you've got not one, but two Turbo Union RB199, MK101 and post-mod MK103 engines roaring to life, each boasting 12 compressor stages and 3 spool axial flow turbofan technology. With all these systems working together seamlessly, you've got yourself a pair of engines that are not just powerful, but also reliable and versatile, which can take whatever challenges comes across your way. While we take off smoothly, let's look at the flight characteristics here. We should be able to maneuver quickly and responsively, which we see it, plus versatility to perform different tasks. Now the P200 Tornado jet presents a meticulously crafted visual model, reflecting the intricate details of this renowned aircraft. It offers a diverse range of liveries, which represents various armed forces, that gives you a tailored experience for every pilot. Now the model felt realistic, with a comprehensive system simulation, which leans towards authentic flying experience. Now while we look at the cockpit, the design boasts meticulous attention to detail, and we also need to observe the external visuals that further enhances immersion. One of the things to note is the WSO station, where functionality is somewhat limited, but many systems have basic implementations. Now key functionalities unique to the WSO stations include inertial navigation alignment, where you're not required to perform a full iron alignment procedure. The main computer, where it's essential for IFU1, IFU2 and waveform generator to be set to on in order to operate effectively. The map generator, where full map generator controls are accessible only in the rear cockpit. Ground mapping, basic ground mapping capabilities are provided. Now if the plane spawns cold and dark, performing the RDE procedure from the CVR is necessary to have the flight plan available. Now flight plan creation is only possible in the game interface, so something to note. In terms of waypoint management, the auto navigation mode selection and the waypoint selection can only be operated in the rear cockpit. And if you observe all these things, overall, although the WSO operations are somewhat restricted, it still gives us a chance to engage with key functionalities to enhance mission effectiveness from the WSO station. A good number of features and certainly more adventures to follow with this jet of a kind, and another beautiful addition from this team of IndiaFoxtEcho. This is right now sold for $32 at Sim Market, and we hope you like this video. As always, it's been a true pleasure, and do subscribe for more as we plan to bring you a lot more towards a sim. Until next time, do take care and happy flying.